Hello everyone. It's James again. And before I start today's video, I want to thank every one of you all that view my content. It really does mean a lot to me. And all of you that are new. Thank you for giving this little cartoon man with a funny voice a bit of your time. And sadly it's hard to know who's new and who's not because, like I've said before, I've been shadow banned for the last 7 or 8 years. Hopefully that will come to an end soon, not just for my channel, but for others that have information to share and wise words to give. With that said, let's get on with the topic. And that is the narcissist will destroy everything. Literally everything around them. All just to get you back and cause harm to your life. Well, how can this be? The narcissist is all about self-preservation, right? Well, they are. But we've also talked about how narcissists can end up going that extra step and becoming psychopathic. Now of course you see the missile behind me. And yes, we are going to talk about World War III. Why? Because it's important. And it relates to nearly everything we've talked about here on this channel for way more than a decade. And one of those things we've addressed many times, that we know to be true about narcissists and narcissistic abuse, is you aren't allowed to talk about what happened to you and the abuse you suffered. Why? Because society's rules says, if you talk about your parents you are a terrible child. And how dare you? Even though everything you are saying is true, you are the bad guy or woman for daring to talk about what abuse you suffered at the hands of such parents. So you keep it to yourself. And before the many channels that now existed talking about how to heal and have the best life we can after narcissistic abuse, a great many of us just fumbled through life, not truly knowing what the heck we were doing. Well, we are in the same situation now with world events. If you call Donald Trump a narcissist, and how bad of a person he is, even if you can't cite much information about why you feel that way, you are celebrated. But if you talk about innocent people put in harm's way and losing their lives as a result of what is happening on the opposing side, you are told to not talk about that because according to them, Donald Trump is a narcissist. And hey, maybe he is. Maybe he isn't. But because how someone feels about Donald Trump doesn't mean we can't talk about the rockets launching and World War III and its likely cause. You see, most things we have gone through in our lives growing up with these narcissists, and dating and marrying these narcissists, and being friends with these narcissists, and working with and for these narcissists. All or most of what we've seen and experienced. If your eyes are open you can clearly see the same patterns play out on the world stage. And right now it's more apparent than ever. Donald Trump gets elected in a landslide blowout victory. And a day or two after he meets with the current powers that be. And he's told things are good. The current powers that be give the okay for Ukraine to use and launch American-made missiles into Russia. When Trump just days before put out a press video talking about his peace plan to stop the war. Look. The narcissist in our life hates you so much. They hate you so much. They will screw themselves over just to screw you over. Because when a narcissist feels wronged or they are losing their power over you, that is when they are the most dangerous. We've said many times here in this space, the best way to get away from a narcissist is carefully. Back away slowly. And let them lose interest in you. Because if you create a scene, and you tell them you are leaving because of this reason and that reason, well, we've seen in the news where this goes horribly wrong for both men and women that are trying to leave such a toxic relationship. Sometimes they end up losing their life. And speaking of which, there are a few news stories detailing this dynamic I want to cover as I believe it's very important. But something happens to this manipulative narcissist. The narcissist that has everyone fooled into thinking they are the good guy or good woman. Something snaps in them and they become psychopathic and they no longer care what happens to them. At least in the moment. And they go off the deep end. And they think, if they are going to lose, so will you. but they will try to make you lose 10 times worse if they can. And again, this is where they become dangerous. Look. No matter if you think Donald Trump is a narcissist or you don't think he's a narcissist. There is literally no reason why this last stunt was done involving Russia and Ukraine with US backing. Unless this is a last-ditch effort to make some money. And they just don't like Donald Trump simply because they know their old way of doing things will soon be over. You have a great many of these politicians where their salary is a little more than $100,000 a year. Some don't even get paid that. Yet. Some of these same people are somehow worth hundreds of millions of dollars. How did they pull off that magic trick? The truth is these people have been scamming us for a long time. All the while pretending to care about the people they are scamming. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? Kind of like the narcissists in our life. And what does the narcissist do when they think that you, the scapegoat, is going to blow the whistle on their operation of narcissistic abuse? They get ahead of the cart and they start the smear campaign and they turn everyone against you. And they convince even your best friend you are a terrible person. Look. These people are losing their control and they are losing their seemingly never-ending stream of money. Evil, crooked money. Money that was likely gained by lying to you and lying to me. Do you think for a second these people are going to say, "Oh well, it was nice while it lasted"? Or do you think they are going to do something like what we are seeing now? Because we've seen our narcissists do some crazy things. Now picture the narcissists in our lives. Picture my ex Susie. Having world-changing power. Does this missile seem like something Susie wouldn't do? Put your comments below regarding Susie if she had these abilities. But as for me, I know what she would do. Her losing and feeling like she was wrong. She would think, well, if she can't have it, no one can have it. And if it was something good going to me, she would make sure she would break whatever good thing that was and make sure I would no longer have whatever good thing it might be. Now is the time to turn on our discernment. There are those of you that hate Donald Trump. Some of you that love him. And some of you that are neutral. But in all three cases, you must put on your wise helmet that God has given to you and discern. Don't go on hate or anger. But what you know is truly happening. And why is this important? So you can prepare yourself. Hey. Maybe nothing happens. But maybe something happens and you might need extra food or water for a small time. And maybe this is time for you to get close to God. Maybe this is a time to open your Bible. Maybe this is a time for you to be kind to others. You see, Satan didn't just turn this world into an evil mess for no reason. He did this section by section and bit by bit. Just like the narcissist would do. All because once everything is corrupted and demoralized, it's extremely hard for the light of good, God's light that shines in all of us to shine bright. But the more people show love and show peace and exercise discernment, the more evil will shrink into the corner and the more God's light will radiate and shine bright. But with that being said, when I look at this rocket, I look at what the many narcissists would have done or might have done to a great many of us when we were trying to make a better life for ourselves. Have you seen videos of people trying to leave a narcissist or another toxic person? And that toxic person starts breaking everything around them and breaks things of the person that no longer wants to be with them. That is a very small scale of what we are seeing right now. The problem is what we are seeing right now has dire consequences. We must pray for God's mercy, for God's forgiveness, and for God's love. Well, that's a good place for me to stop. With that said, I do hope your day is blessed. And until next time, bye for now. And be good to yourself.